Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Here we are in the great outdoors, and I've always thought I'm trying my best to be as green as possible. Among which one of my objectives was to use these. These are Tru Earth compostable pop-up sponges. Tru Earth is actually a Canadian brand. I found out about these a little while ago. There was a Canadian YouTuber who had been sponsored by these folks, and he mentioned these are some kind of environmentally degrading cellulose, it says right there on the tin, biodegradable sponges. And you know, I'm often throwing out our plastic ones all the time, and I thought, yeah, let's do something good for the earth. Let's go with some Tru Earth compostable pop-up sponges. And I was going to pop these open, I was going to use them and show you, but unfortunately this pack is empty. I've used this pack of 5 up. And I wanted to show you, well, here's what would have been in the packaging. This is what was in the packaging. And it was really, really good. And I was ready to buy a new pack in order to do this video some proper reviewing, but I can't find them anymore. So I've got kind of a weird conclusion to this video. But regardless, let me show you what it's like when you've used one of these for a little while, and also what it's like when it pops.
Okay, so here's our existing Tru Earth sponge. First one we open up from the pack. This is 3 or 4 months worth of life. We've been using this thing, I think pretty much, yeah, this is easily for 3 or 4 months. It's gone a bit brown, a bit yucky, a bit gross. You can still make out the logo though. And now it is time to replace. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, for a timestamp, it is Friday, February the 16th. And I'm going to take this sponge and I'm going to put it outside, and just in 6 months I'm going to see what does it look like, and maybe a year later what does it look like. Has it actually rotted away being plant-based? So to do that I'll need to just put a hole in here. Just getting a standard old, there we go, little screwdriver, put a hole in there. And through that hole, I'm just going to string a little plastic rubbery gripper, because this is going to be used to, let me just thread this through here if I can. There we go. I'm going to take this and secure it outside. And as you can see, here we are in the great outdoors. We're out on our deck. This deck is a little bit messy and gross. You can see there's some gunge on the walls and stuff like that. But my plan is to leave this sponge out here, as I say, for 6 months to a year. I want to see if over time this plant-based sponge will rot away. The rubber band thing should remain forever. So what I'm going to do is attach it to, we got a old foldable chair just sitting here. It's got some nice little rungs on it there, so I'm just going to tie that on. And there we go. That is Tru Earth sitting there attached to the folding chair. Going to just leave it out here exposed to the elements, get it in sun and rain and snow and everything else. How does it handle the passage of time? Does it rot away? It should do so. The rubber thing shouldn't. And just again with the timestamp, it is Friday, February the 16th. So we will check back 6 months from now, a year from now. We will see, has Tru Earth survived or has it rotted away? Be a good test. Meanwhile, I'll show you the fun part. So here's the next one we're going to get. This is the pack they come in. And I'm going to grab another one of these guys, just any old color. So you can see they come out, it's like a pack of cards. There's 4 of them in there now. Super thin, so there's the new one. But here's the part that I really enjoy, is when you just drip some water on it. Now we have a new sponge. Oh, a little bit of dry spot back there. Just give it a squeeze. Now that it is fully drenched, look at that. We have a new sponge, and I'm probably going to get 3 or 4 months of life out of this one too. We will find out.
All right, right, and now you can see it's a nice sunny day. It's 6 months later, August the 14th, and the stool with the sponge is now moved over here. Any changes? This is 6 months later, no adjustments. It's hard and a bit ridgy, but no sign of any real decay. So there we go. That's after 6 months out in the great wilderness here, exposed to all the elements. There has been no real change. You can still make out the Tru Earth logo and everything. So yeah, we'll be back in another 6 months, I guess. It's a little bit... I thought I saw some whiteness there, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, we'll be back in 6 months. Okay, here we are. It's another year later, and as you can see, there's snow on the ground. Here we are. Can you make that out? Not quite. Yeah. Monday, February the 3rd. So it's a full year later. Let's check how the sponge is doing. It's here, and yeah, it's still just like it always was. This thing has sat through a boiling hot summer and 2 winters. And it's not much different from before. Okay, so we will check back again in a few more months. And here we are 6 months later. It's a sunny day, a nice warm summer afternoon. You can see on the phone it is June the 29th. The sponge remains here. In fact, you can see some weeds have grown up, so this is definitely untouched by time. How are we doing another 6 months later? Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Okay. It is quite... Oh, look at that. It does break apart. It's actually somewhat crumbly now. It doesn't have that rubbery feeling it used to have. It actually feels more crusty, and I think this is actually where this is the point where it would actually start to break down. So yeah, we have finally reached a point. The biodegradability of the sponge has started to make sense. So that took 2 years. 2 years of me checking in on this sponge, and finally we've got it to a point where I think it's starting to get crunchy and crusty and problematic for, well, I mean, not problematic, good for the environment. However, as mentioned at the very beginning of this video, before all this experimentation, this is kind of a pointless video to make. So I say pointless because I've been back to the Tru Earth website to get more of these sponges. Now that proof is in the pudding, now that I've tried it out and seen how long it takes for this thing to turn into a crusty mess that is actually going to be able to be breaking down and saving the environment, I thought, yeah, let's go back and get some more of these sponges. And unfortunately, I have had no success. I have found, if I do a Google search for Tru Earth pop-upable sponges, I get their laundry sticks and laundry items. They do sell a lot of things still on their website, but I cannot find Tru Earth compostable sponges. That's why this box is empty. Here was me going to be, opening up a brand new set for you and continuing on with my Tru Earth sponge journey, but I can't. They don't sell them anymore, which is unfortunate. So what I've done instead is that I'm using these, which are from a company called Coco Kitchen. Can't really make them out there. These are biodegradable sponges as well. Got these ones on Amazon, and I'm hoping these ones are going to end up being as good. I'm not going to do another 2-year experiment with these suckers, but they seem pretty nice. Like, this is what you get in your box. You got a nice soft sponge there. You've got a little bit of a scrubby edge there. So yeah, I'm hoping that these ones are going to be the solution to my problem, because my problem is I really, really like the idea behind some compostable sponges, and I can't get them anywhere. So I'm going to give this a whirl, but I'm not filming this for another 2 years. The Tru Earth stuff was great. It was interesting to try out what happens if you just leave them out in the sun and the wind and the snow. And now that we know, they are very, very good, but you can't get them anymore. So let's see what Coco Kitchen's biodegradable sponges. I'll put a link down below to these ones if you're interested. I'm trying my best to do my best for nature, and we'll just see how that goes. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Until next time, I'll see you down the rabbit hole.